Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Scratch Tutorials in Scratch 101. So today we're going to be returning to a veteran game that I made not so long ago, but it's still an old series. I took a break with this series because I wasn't really feeling it wasn't really fun for me, and also I didn't really feel like there was anywhere to go with this game. I felt like it was pretty complete, and yeah, it really covered everything. Well, not everything, but mostly everything. So we covered the score. We covered the background. We covered the jump mechanics. We covered the end. But there's one thing that I just wanted to add to finish off the game, and that is a starting screen. So every game, almost every game, has a starting screen. It's usually says the title of the game, and then it says start. Sometimes it says settings, or username, or document score. But we're just gonna have the name of the game and start. So let's just jump right into it. Let's go make a new backdrop, and let's go into our, first of all, let's go into our sprite thing here. And this is what we're going to have to do for all of our sprites. But first, we should go to our backdrop, sorry. We go to backdrops, so that's where the costumes would be. We go change the name to starting screen. Yep. And this is just going to be blank for now. And I'm actually going to duplicate this and delete this because I had a good idea. So usually you'd start with maybe a background, like a custom background with your title on it, usually right here. But I'm going to just use the same background as the start, the level 1 start of our game. So it has a smooth transition and we can just have jump straight into it. And maybe we could add the trees and the clouds in the background. And then when we start game, we just add the rocks and the player. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just rename our backdrop starting screen. And let's create 2 new sprites. Actually, let's create 1 new sprite, and we're going to utilize the clone feature. So we're going to use the brush. Actually, no, we're going to go to text, and we've been using this pixel text. So we're just going to go and we're going to, this game is called Dino because it is a recreation of the Dino game from Google. So we're just gonna say Dino game Amex because this isn't the exact Dino game, and claiming it would be the Dino game is, well, just not true. So let's make this a little bit bigger. I don't know. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Oh, not that big. Maybe a little bit bigger. And then let's move it. One thing I have noticed while using Scratch is this little arrow right here. It doesn't really show the middle of the screen. As you can see, if you put it right here, it kind of looks off center. Technically, it is the middle of the game. It should be right here. But for text, it doesn't really work as a middle. So usually you should just put it off to the side, to the left. If you're trying to make it to the top, do it top left. As you can see, it's much more centered. So let's make this a different color than black because black is kind of dull. We want our title screen to stand out. let's make it pink. Why not? Actually, no, I changed my mind. Let's just make it red. Red is bold, stands out, it's good. Bold, sorry. Oops, moved it. Just put it a little bit higher. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. As you can see, it sticks out. Actually, it might have been a little bit too big. Might not fit in the screen. And this is a little bit off center. It's lagging a little bit. So, voice crack. Just move it over a little bit. Okay, and that's good. So, let's make another costume. Go to paint, and let's do a start button. Let's just name this title screen. Let's name the sprite starting title. Don't know how to spell. Okay, so we have title screen and we have start button. Start button, obviously, we're just going to say start. Let's make it a little bit bigger. We want it to be a little bit bigger. And we actually want it to be down here, a little bit to the side since it's smaller. Has to be a little bit more central to the big crossing. That is not central. Still not central. I think that's good enough. I'll just yeah, that's good enough. So we have Dino game start. And what we're going to do is around this, we are just going to create a square, but this square has to go a little bit up. And we're going to make it this blue. For some reason, the picking tool, okay, that should be good. So it's not working for some reason. Well, I think it did work. Did it? I'm not sure. But I guess we just have to make another little thing. We have to make another text. We'll put it right on top of the start. I apologize for the lag. In fact, I'll come back when I achieve this little idea that I've been trying to do. Okay, so we are back and we have done what we were trying to do before, and that is creating a blue circle around the start button. So the way we're going to code it is we're going to have the mouse click the start button to start. And obviously it's kind of hard to, well, it's not hard, but it'd be easier if you could just click around the start or in the start area. And so I created a circle using the circle tool, and I made it the same color as the background so that it looks like there's just the start button, but the code that we use allows the player to just tap in the surrounding environment of the start, and it will work and it'll activate what we're trying to do. So what are we trying to do? Let's get into that. So we are trying to create a starting screen, obviously. But in a starting screen, we can't have all of the rocks and the player there. We have to be selective and we have to, well, clear the area. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the code, we're going to move all of this. This is fine because it's start game, but we are going to do setup. Where is it? Okay. When I receive setup, and this is this setup stage between the setup and the start game is where we are going to create the. Sorry if I do that. It's just a habit. This is where we're going to create the starting screen. So on our sprite 1, or let's just name score, on our score, we are going to just go right here and we're going to do hide. Okay. So as you can see, hide, and then for this start game, you can show. For this, for the cloud, we're actually going to let it be there. So instead of doing during setup, do start game. This is the start game. We could just do this. Yeah. So we can just add this to the start game, and then we can set up. We can do hide. Where is it? Hide. So that's good. And then we can go to the tree. Set up. Of course, this should be, or we could just leave this here because the tree has disappeared. As you can see in the setup, and it doesn't show until it doesn't show until start game. So for rocks, this is especially important. Here's our setup, and we just have to hide. And then for our player, do we have the, yes, we do have the show. Yeah, we have the show here. So for, where's our setup? Our setup, we have hide. And for this, we can just do, and we can just move to a start game. But start game, so over here, make sure to organize your Scratch code so you don't get confused like I am right now. This should actually be. And this is good that we have this. This is fine. Receive start game, we shouldn't hide. We should show. And this we can delete. And this we can delete. Everything else looks good. And let's go to the title. So, when we receive green flag, not set up, green flag, we actually know this should be set up, sorry. We should do show, make sure we're showing. we are going to make a clone of ourselves, and then we are going to, yeah, this should be it for the normal sprite. But it's when I start as a clone, that's when we're going to actually do it. So when I start as a clone, first of all, we go to looks, make sure we're showing, and then we go to if. Actually, let's see. I think this, I'm not very familiar. Let me just work this out very quick. I'm actually so sorry for my backtrack, guys, but sorry. We are not going to be using the click to start. We're going to be just using the, oh, I guess this could be, we're just going to be using the press M. Let's just do M to start. I just picked a random letter. So let's center it a little bit down. Make it center. Good. Okay, press M to start. That's good. So we have to, when I receive setup, we have to go to looks. We switch costume to title screen. We show, yeah. We switch costume when we start as clone. We switch costume to start button. And then we do this if key pressed, but first we have to do if. So let's go to control. Let's go if sensing. Where is it? Key is pressed. If. Let's go down. M keys pressed. Then we broadcast. Ooh, that's in events. We can broadcast start game. And then delete this clone, which is down, I believe here. And then, oop, no. Where is it? Delete this clone. And then we can go up to control when I receive. Set our start game. We can hide. And yeah, that should be it. M. Uh-oh. That's not good. I think the problem with that is the if infinity, or not the if infinity. We should do an infinity block. Let's just do repeat until. And not put anything in it, which means it's forever. Press M. There we go. So that was today's video. The starting screen. This is the finale. I know last episode of this series I said it was the finale, but this is the finale. This is the final step of this game. We might as well just publish it now. This will be available in my Scratch folder, my public folder, and I will see you guys next time with a new series. Goodbye.